In the block 1, we have an introduction to operating system. Over there, we have 3 units like fundamentals of operating system, process and threads, and memory management. These 3 units in block 1. Whereas coming to management of files, input, output, these all things in the block 2, like file systems, input, output devices, and deadlocks. In the block 3, we have virtualization and cloud management. And whereas block 4, we have, yeah, okay, fine. Okay, right. So let me start the operating system. What do you mean by an operating system and these all things? Let me start. So yesterday we discussing about operating system, right? So what we'll do in operating system will provide an interface between a user and a hardware or a machine. Okay, it will give you an access to the, it will provide you an user interface like a bridge between user as well as a machine. Okay, so without operating system we can't do anything, right? Yeah, I just share you my Word document, right? Okay, so definition of an operating system. So an operating system is a program. Okay, right. Yeah, an operating system is a program that controls the execution of application program and acts as an interface between the user of a computer and the computer hardware, right? So yesterday we discussed like in mobile, we have different types of operating system. Let me forget about the computer system. Let me discuss about mobile. So in our mobile, we have different types of operating system. Like if you are using Apple mobile, there we have Mac OS, okay, or iOS OS. And in other mobiles like Windows mobiles, or in some mobiles we have Windows operating system. Microsoft operating system. And in some mobiles we have Android operating system, right? So mostly we are using Android operating system. So if you don't have any operating system, is my voice is audible? Can you hear my voice clearly? Okay,
yes, sir.
someone has given me chat that sir, your voice is not audible. Yeah, NS, can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir. You continue.
Fine. Okay, fine. Yeah. So without any operating system, we don't have any. We can't use that mobile. It will be like a dummy piece, right? We can't do anything. And the main purpose of operating system is to provide you an interface, right? Like a graphical user interface. There you're going to see all the applications and all the applications and all the required things, whatever you want. Like suppose you want to go for call option, you can directly, while seeing the call icon, you can get into that call option. Okay, or if you want to do any social media like WhatsApp or Facebook, whatever you want to open. So while seeing that application only, we can identify that it is an application of Facebook or it is an application of WhatsApp, right? So the graphical user interface will make you the more interesting content, or will make you to use the device more easily by the help of this graphical user content. So this operating system will provide you that graphical user content, and which will make you to use that device with efficiently, okay, and easily, right? Yeah. So in the operating system, actually, when you see the computer, actually I show you the computer. Some people don't know what is computer also. So this is a desktop actually. Okay. I'm using your Windows 11. Okay, in my laptop I have a Windows 11 here. And Windows 11 operating system. To know that one, yesterday I said you right. These are my computer. Or after Windows 10, it will show you this PC. Before Windows 10, we have a name called My Computer. Okay, so from here we can get into our system. Like these are the local drives. Okay, local drives, local disk C and a local disk E or local new volume, whatever it might be. And these are the icons. These are with the help of these icons, we can directly get into downloads or documents or whatever it might be. Right? Yeah. So and in operating system, each and every content in our operating system, each and everything is going to be displayed you on the form of a file only. Okay, which will be displayed you, which we can see in the form of file only. Right, here we have different files, right? So these all are icons. Actually, we call it as an icons, but these all are files only, related to files only, right? So when we open this one, these are local disk C file or file or directory, we call this one, or these also one file or directory. When we get into this, again we have different files or folders or directories. In the Linux, we call these all are as a directories. Whereas in Windows, we call these all as a folders, right? Again, we can get into that folder. There we find some, if we have some files, we will have some files. See, these all are folders inbuilt. And again, if we have any files here, it will show you the files. So all are folders only here. Sorry. Example, I just show you from D drive. Suppose these are OS Ambedkar UG courses. I have given this folder name as this. And when we get into this, these all are called as a files. Okay. Yeah, different files. And how the different files, when the system will understand what type of files it is means by the help of extension. We have each and every file, we have an extension. Okay. Like this is an Excel file. Okay. Microsoft Excel file. So the extension of this file is, you right click on this, show the, go to the properties. Here you will find Excel, I mean XLS, dot XLS, right? This one. So, so each and every file will have some extension. Extension is nothing but with the dot name. After file name, we have a, I mean dot, after dot, we will have some name. So with that name and dot, it will identify which type of file it is, right? If it is an XLS, it will be called as a Excel file. Suppose if you have an Windows file, so let me check this file. So this one is docx docs. Okay. So the doc will be called as an Word file. Okay, Word document it is in, or MS Office Microsoft Word document, right? So the Word document is going to use to, for what purpose we are using this this file and this file? For Word document, for what purpose we will use that one? Can anyone tell? For which purpose we are using this Word document, and for which purpose we are using this Excel document? Give anyone reply, or anyone can tell. Okay, fine. Right. So Excel file is going to use to create in the form of tabular form. Okay. Let me open. This is an Excel file. Okay. Let me see. This is an Excel file. So Excel file will be look like this, right? So here all the data is present in the form of cells. Okay. This is called as a cell, right? And data in the form of rows and columns, right? These are the columns and these are the rows, right? So we can store the data in the form of tabular format. Okay. Right. Yeah. Whereas coming to Word document, whereas Word document, this is a Word document. Here in this Word document, we are going to write a data in the form of paragraph format, like any letter format or any paragraph content or any notes or any textbooks. These all things are going to be used, are going to be shown in the, are going to be stored in the form of documents, right? So here we are going to store the data in the form of paragraphs. Okay. Whereas coming to PDF, so this is a PDF file, right? So this PDF file is going to be used to store the data, and it is in the form of read-only format. We can't edit the data here. We can't write anything here. Okay. Just we can read the data from here, but we can't edit any data from here. Like it is a textbook. Okay. In the textbooks, we are going to read the data, but we can't enter. Right? We can't do any enter. We can't enter any data into the textbook. Suppose if we have a notebook, in the notebook we can edit the data as well as we can save the data. Okay, again we can write something on the notebooks and we can store them into the notes, right? So that for that purpose we are using a notebook. Like Word document is too, we can edit the data, we can write anything here. Okay, we can write anything here, right? Yeah. Okay, rest of the things let me see after in your practical sessions. You can discuss, you can see all these all things. All right. So so before getting into an operating system, we have a process called, we have different types of concepts of an operating system. They are process management, memory management, resource management, these all things we have. So what are they? Let me see now. So everything is going to be a process. Suppose example, suppose you have a block diagram of a computer. Do you know about the block diagram of a computer? Anyone know about the block diagram of a computer? I just show you in the internet. I mean, on the Google. Sorry. Yeah, let me take any one. Right. Okay. Here you can see now. So these are the block diagram of computer, which will have an input device and an output device. Okay. These are the input and output resources like what are these? Hmm. Okay. So this is a block diagram. Here we have a CPU. This is called a central processing unit. Central processing unit is called as a CPU. And in the CPU, we have a control unit, arithmetic and logical unit, and main memory, auxiliary memory, registers, caches, etc., etc. We all have this one. Uh, so, and these are the external resources. Okay, resources of the here we have no. These are the resources management. So these resources are called as input and output. Okay, output devices like input devices are mouse, keyboard, joysticks, etc., plotters, etc. These all comes under as input devices, and output devices are monitors, speakers, printers, yeah, etc. These all things comes under as a output devices. These all are called as resources. Okay, and in the input device in the CPU, we have a control unit and arithmetical unit and processing main memory processing unit or ALU unit we call it as a like here control unit. So the whatever the data we entered from the input device, it will enter into the memory. Okay. First it will enter into the memory and it will store, it will provide you some address data to that particular content, whatever the content we have entered. Okay. For that from that memory, it will allow you to get into any control unit or any arithmetic or logic unit or any processor unit. Okay, processor. It will allow you to the processor. The processor will suppose example I'm doing 2 plus 3. Example, I'm doing example 2 plus 3. I just type 2 plus 3. So the main memory will allocate some memory, okay, to that particular 2 plus 3 word, whatever the thing I have typed. And for that temporarily, it will allocate some memory to the 2 plus 3, and it will allow you to perform the arithmetic operation on that. Okay, again, it will check the operation, whether it comes under arithmetic or logical operation. So it will take into the arithmetic operation and it will perform 2 plus 3 equal to 5, and then it will display in this. Okay. Right. So the control unit will control the whatever the things like all the devices, all the memory managements, all the file managements, these all things are going to be controlled by the help of control unit. Right? Yeah. So a processor we have. So what do you mean by process? Means a process is a execution of a program or running of a program. We call it as a program is under execution. Is called as a process. Okay. A process is basically a program in execution. Okay. The execution of a process must progress in a sequential fashion. So here what it means each and every program or each and whatever the thing we are doing on the computer, like if you are playing any video or audio or anything, these all are going to be executed by the processor, right? So it will execute in the form of a sequential order, okay, one by one. It will provide you a job sequence to that each and every process. Like I'm suppose example I'm playing a video, so this video is going to be in the form of bits. It is going to be placed in the processor like bits ante if you having different types bits ante మనకి స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటుంది ఎలా అంటే డేటా అనేది జీరోస్ అండ్ వన్స్ కింద స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటుంది. సో ఇది మనకు అదంతా తర్వాత మళ్ళీ మనకు వస్తుంది ప్రాసెస్ అండ్ థ్రెడ్స్. వీ హ్యావ్ డిఫరెంట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ నెక్స్ట్ యూనిట్. ఇన్ ద నెక్స్ట్ యూనిట్ వీ హ్యావ్ డిఫరెంట్లీ there we can see the process about the detailed process about that one, right? Yeah, it will make you to execute the program sequentially, right? Yeah. Next, address space. So just now we have discussed that main memory will allocate some memory, okay, some address to that particular whatever the input or whatever output we have given to the system, right? Example, I just show you paint. So like a building blocks, the memory will be in the form of a building blocks. Okay, right. Once example, I just take this one. So this is a memory. Let me take this. Let me call it as a memory. Yeah, let me call it as a memory. Yeah, let me call it as a memory. So in this memory, Suppose example, this is a main memory. So here the computer will make it as in blocks here in this block, like the memory should be in this way actually. Okay, like an apartment. Let me take an example. Simple example is an apartment. Okay, let me call it as an apartment. So in this apartment, each and every floor we are going to give some name, right? So this is an like 101 floor 101 example. I'm giving an address as 101 or first floor. Okay, or first floor, and we for this we can also provide this as a 201 or second floor. Okay, example, so and so, so and so, and it is an nth apartment or 10th apartment, 10 okay, suppose this is a fifth floor example. Okay, so let me take an 501. So when we send any data, so it will create some blocks to the memory of that particular size. Based on the size it will create, and it will allocate that portion to that particular data, whatever the data. And once the data has been finished, it will ask you to save into a permanent memory, like our C drive or D drive. There we can save that one. Or if you want to delete, we can delete. So once we save them into the permanent storage or permanent memory, this memory is going to be deleted automatically. Okay. I mean, whatever the allocated memory in the main memory, whatever the space has been allocated, that space is going to be erased automatically, right? Yeah. Right. So why address space is allocated means, yeah. So why means for actually when we are doing something, so first of all, it should need some storage space, right? Like without space, we can't do anything, right? Like example, ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏది చేయాలన్నా సరే, like example, if you want to, I'm entering some data like here, not only here, let me take here only. Suppose here I'm entering data like ABCD, okay, ABCD and type చేస్తున్నాను. So when I typed ABCD, so where it going to be stored actually, I mean, ఇది ఇక్కడ ప్లేస్ అవుతుంది అంటే here it is showing you ABCD, right? So to show you this ABCD over here, it should be placed in some space. ఓకే, ఒక స్పేస్ అనేది క్రియేట్ కావాలి. అక్కడ స్పేస్ లో క్రియేట్ అవుతేనే మనకు డేటా అనేది ఇక్కడ మనకు డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది, రైట్? సో ఇలా డిస్ప్లే కావాలి అంటే ఏం చేస్తుంది? ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ స్టోర్ యూ ఇన్ ద పర్మనెంట్ మెమరీ. ఓకే, ఇది మనకు టెంపరీగా నౌ ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్ దిస్ టెంపరీ, రైట్? నాట్ ఐఎమ్ సేవింగ్ దిస్ పర్మనెంట్లీ ఏబిసిడి అనే వర్డ్ ని ఆర్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద పేజ్, వాట్ దిస్ ఎంటైర్ పేజ్, ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ టెంపరీ, నాట్ పర్మనెంట్లీ, రైట్? సో హియర్ ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ దిస్ ఏబిసిడి ఆర్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద థింగ్స్ ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్ హియర్, దిస్ ఆల్. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది అంటే ఇది ఇట్ విల్ స్టోర్ యూ ఇన్ టు ద టెంపరీ మెమరీ అండ్ ఇట్ విల్ అలొకేట్ యూ సమ్ టెంపరీ మెమరీ స్పేస్. ఓకే, ఇట్ విల్ అలొకేట్ యూ సమ్ టెంపరీ మెమరీ స్పేస్ టు దిస్. అండ్ హియర్, సో దిస్ మెమరీ ఇప్పుడు మనకు యాక్చువల్లీ మెయిన్ మెమరీ అంటే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇన్ యువర్ మొబైల్ లెట్ వి టేక్ ఎన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇన్ యువర్ మొబైల్. We have different main memory is called as a RAM. Okay, in our computer also we have RAM, in our mobile also we have RAM. So what RAM will going to do, when we purchase a mobile, we check about the RAM, right? So why we check about the RAM? Because it will fast up your device, right? It will make you to use the device fastly, right? Suppose if you have 2 GB of RAM, your system will not, I mean your mobile will not support you to store to load all the applications, whatever the applications stored in this generation we are using, right? So that's why we are checking the RAM, and we are taking, I mean we are using we are making to buy the mobile with huge amount of RAM, like 8 GB of RAM or 16 GB of RAM, etc., etc., right? So this RAM will each and every application, whatever the application we are running in our computer, in our mobile, once you check the cache memory or RAM storage space, there you are going to find. Suppose you have a WhatsApp, camera, Google, etc., etc., right? Each and every application is using this RAM only, right? These applications are going to run by the help of RAM only. So much, I mean, this much of memory has been used by RAM for this application. Like this, it will show you, right? So when you, I mean, with the help of that RAM, it will be. When you erase that memory, I mean, when you deleted or uninstalled any application, so automatically that RAM is going to be freed. Okay. So here also the same concept is going to happen. So this whatever the application we are using here, right? So whatever the, I'm using a paint one here. So this one I didn't save this permanently. Just I'm showing you. So when I want to close this one, if I close this one, it will ask you to save this permanently, right? It will ask you, there is unsaved changes and something it is asking you. Do you want to save this work, or do you want to save this file permanently? It will ask you. When you click on yes, it will show you where to save. Okay, where to save this file, it will ask you. So we can save this one in our any C drive, D drive, or desktop, or documents, or wherever you want, there you can save, right? Then it is going to be saved permanently. So until and unless we save permanently, this file is going to be stored in the main memory only, like RAM or ROM, not ROM, RAM, or any other memories, right? In main memory only it will store. Primary memory, we call it as a primary memory, or we call it as a main memory, right? So it will until and unless ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ పెయింట్, రైట్? సో దిస్ పెయింట్ అనేది కూడా ఇలాగే మెమరీలో ఒక చిన్న బ్లాక్ తీసుకుంది. సో ఇట్ విల్ క్రియేట్ సమ్ బ్లాక్, like how much space it will accept, that much of block it is going to be created, and there it will there it is going to be placed, right? Okay, so it will create in the form of a blocks. Fine, I'm not saving this one permanently. So memory management is address space is going to be allocated for that purpose. Next, file. Yeah, just now we have said that every content in the OS is going to be shown in the form of file only, right? So whatever the things we have, these all are called as files only. These all are files only, and everything is in the form of file only. Okay, so it will provide you the content of a storage medium are stored and organized in the form of a file. Okay. Next one, memory management. Memory management also we have separate unit of about memory management. Just now I showed you in the paint, right? The same thing is going to be happen in the memory management also. There we have external memory, internal memory. These all things we will have to where we store and on which path we will save the file, and how the file is going to be saved. What type of files, what type of waves, what type of things it is going to be do. These all things are going to be done here. Next, resource management. Resource management is also, resources are nothing but input output devices, right? So we have a device manager. There we with the help of the device manager, it will take care of all the resources, whatever the resources is connected to this system. Like example, keyboard, mouse, printer, plotter, projector, etc., whatever it might be, right? This is an operating system. So actually an operating system, so the computer will understand what type of language. Do you have any idea, anyone?
Binary
so computer
language.
will understand what type of language? Sorry?
Binary.
Language.
Right, binary language. Right. So binary language it will understand. Right, binary means zeros and ones. Okay. So it will assign only, it will take only 0 and 1 values. The system will understand only 0 or 1. Okay, it will not understand any other language. Right. So what do you mean by language actually? So example, we have an English language, right? Suppose example, we take about English. So in English language, we have totally 26 alphabets, right? Something, etc. Okay, we have totally 26 alphabets. So by the help of these 26 alphabets only, we are going to frame any word, or we are going to frame any paragraph, or we are going to frame any content, right? So when we are speaking also, whatever we are doing in the English language, with the help of these 26 alphabets only we are doing, right? So these 26 alphabets are called as reserved words, reserved alphabets, reserved keys, we call it. We call them as a reserved keys, right? So without using reserved keys, we can't do, we are not using any other keys after beyond these 26 keys, right? And we have these keys are framed in the form of either capital A or small a. Okay, we are going to display them, we are going to write them, or we are going to show them in the form of this format only, right? Okay, we are not showing this one like if A means we are writing like this only, right? Why? Because we are writing, that's why it is called as a reserved key or reserved alphabet. Okay, that's why we are using this name as a reserved. Means that same way we have to use that one. If A is like this, if I want to write like reverse of A, that is not valid, right? So that's way. So here in the binary, in the computer, we have only two alphabets, like two keys. What are they? 0 and 1. So everything is going to be stored, or everything is going to be understand in the form of zeros and ones only, right? So this language is called as binary language, or this is called as a machine level language, or it is also called as a assembly language. Okay, so the machine will understand only zeros and ones. So but we are typing here A and B, right? Okay, we are typing here A and B. So how it is going to be changed to binary language means we have an interpreters, we have a compilers, we have an assemblers, etc., we have, right? the OS will itself provide you an interpreters or any compilers to convert the translators. Example, we can tell that translators it will provide. So the translators will do the work. Whatever we are typing here, A, when we type A here, this will be converted into zeros and ones, and it will send to the processor. Okay, the processor will check what type of value it is. I mean, zeros and ones, what type of bits. This one, each one is called as a bit. Okay, how many bits it has got, it has allocated, and how much bits it has taken. These all things are going to be happened, and it is going to be converted to human understandable language, and it will displayed on the monitor like A. Okay, when we typing A from the keyboard, it will going to do this much of process. It will convert them into the binary language, and again it will check the it will allocate some space to that binary language. I mean that space to that one, and again it will control. It will operate on any operation, like if it is an only alphabet means alphabet operation, or if it is any arithmetic operation means arithmetic operation. Like this, it is going to do, and again it will convert to the human understandable language, and from there it will show you on the monitor, on the output screen. It is going to show you like A, right? These all things are going to be happen in the background process. And how much time it is taking? It is just taking a few seconds, right? Within not few seconds, any microseconds, right? So these are process of making these are process of operating system. So these all things are going to be done. I mean, whatever the translators, these all things are going to be done by the help of kernel. Okay, when we install an operating system into our device, a kernel is going to be, I mean, the kernel will place in heart of a operating system. Okay, there we will have a kernel. So this kernel will, okay, here it is not shown, right? So we have a kernel. So by the help of this kernel, which will make you to, I mean, it is going to manage all the input devices, output devices, whatever the memory managements and resources managements, whatever the things, the user and hardware, it's going to, just now we said that operating system will provide you an interface between a user and a hardware. So how it will going to do? Because it will have a kernel inside the operating system. It have a kernel which will act as an operating core of the core, or we can call it as a heart of an operating system. So it will make all these changes. I mean, all the conversion parts, all the resources managements, all the memory managements, all the network managements. These all things are going to be done by the help of kernel, right? Yeah. So again, a thread. So thread is nothing but a subset of a process. So what I said you, a process is a execution of a program, or program in execution, right? Or running of a program. So whenever a program is nothing but, what do you mean by program? Means program is a set of instructions. Okay, set of instructions. Like set of instructions is nothing but, suppose we have a 10 lines of program. Like example, I will tell you one example. Like when we enter into any restaurant or any hotel, example, let me take that one. Suppose we enter into any hotel. There I ordered some tiffin item, or any idli or vada, something etc. I have ordered there. So what the billing person will do there? He will give a token. So whether he will write, suppose I have given an order like, I need an idli with 10 plates. So what he will do? He will type 10 plates of idli, and he will calculate how much 10 into some 20 rupees or 30 rupees, and he will not write everything right on the type. He will not type everything for the billing system. Okay, what he will do? He will just press on a single key, and he will press the number of items or number of quantity we required. Okay, like I ordered 10 plates of idli, so he will press one key, and he will give the quantity as 10, and he will press one more key. The print is come. Okay, the print will come, like token will come. So here what is going to happen on that key? The set of program, the set of instructions has been created. Okay, one program has been created on that particular key and placed on that particular key. So that key will store the value of idli, price, and the name of the idli, and whatever the things, whatever the required things for billing system required. Those all are going to be programmed over there, right? So to get that one, it should have some instructions, right? Like the name of the item, and the cost of the item, and how the price is going to be calculated. Okay, with quantity. These all things are going to be stored on that particular key, right? So the program is going to be defined in that way. Right? Are you able to understand? అర్థమవుతుంది అందరికి? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So this way the program is going to be executed, right? So e program lo again we are saying that set of instructions, right? So each and every instruction is called as a thread. Okay. Each and every instruction or a subset of a process. A set of thread is nothing but a subset of a process or a sequence of flow. We call it as a sequential flow or a sequence of a flow from one place to another place. Okay. Dani thread antam, right? Okay. Yeah. So we have a number of threads. Okay. So these threads are going to be executed in a process. Okay. Sequentially, these threads are going to be executed. And we have a number of threads in a process. Okay. So each and everything is going to be created as a thread only. Suppose example, I'm typing here something. So I'm selecting this one. This is also one of the thread. Okay. So I'm doing something here. I'm typing something here. This is also one of the thread. Okay. It has to be executed, right? So this all everything is going to be calculated treated as a thread only in the operating system, right? Yeah. So we have a number of threads in the operating system. Okay. So manaki directly getting into this one, ఇందాక మనం మెయిన్ మెమరీ అన్నాం కదా. సో మెమరీలో we have two types actually. What are they? RAM and ROM. Okay, తెలుసా మీకు RAM and ROM? So RAM is going to be called as a read-only memory. RAM is a read-only memory. RAM is the random access memory, right? Do you have an idea about that RAM and ROM? So let me take RAM and ROM. So RAM is nothing but random access memory, right? So random access memory is nothing but randomly it is accessing the memory. So whatever the right. So whatever the suppose example, whenever we just now I said you memory management, right? Whatever the things we are doing here, that thing is going to be stored in the main memory, right? So that main memory is known as a RAM. Okay. The name itself tell you random access memory. So the random access memory means randomly it will access the memory and it is in a volatile nature. The main feature of this RAM is volatile nature. It is volatile nature. What is mean by what volatile nature means? So once the data has been entered into the memory, I mean, whatever the things, I mean, any natural hazards or any system failure or anything when we shut down the system, this RAM is going to be erased completely. Okay, this RAM is going to be erased completely from whatever the recent history. Okay, example, let me have a mobile. In our mobile, the dialed calls and received calls. Nowadays, we are when we reboot our mobile, these dialed calls and received calls, whatever the things calls are there, no, these calls are going to be erased. Okay, okay. Nowadays, we are seeing these all things, but previously, like in before 4 to 5 years back, when we reboot our device or when we remove our battery from the mobile and when we again restart our device, what happens? It is the dialed calls, whatever the recent dialed calls or whatever the missed calls, these all things are there, no, that going to be erased from the mobile, right? So how it going to means these all are going to be stored in the RAM only. So once we restart the computer or restart the device, the things are going to be erased automatically. Here also it is stored in the random access memory. Once I'm not saving this file, automatically this is going to be erased. Okay. Or any natural hazards like volatile nature. Nature is nothing but any natural hazards like earthquake or any fire accidents or what any power fluctuations or any power cuts. These things happened in between of our in our session. So whatever the things we are doing automatically are going to be erased. Okay, that is the RAM. Next one, ROM. ROM is nothing but read only memory. Yeah, ROM is read only memory. So what it is going to do here? The data is going to be read permanently. Okay, read only memory like PDF. Okay, we can't edit the values here. We can't edit any. We can't load any values on this read only. We can't write anything here. It is for only purpose for reading, like textbook. Okay. So what happens? It is a permanent storage one. This will store permanently. Okay. This will store the data permanently. So what type of data? ROM is going to be very small amount of storage space we'll have, and it will store data permanently. So what type of data it will store means, when we install our operating system into the computer, so when we restart our computer, like example, when we restart our computer, or example, let me take our mobile. When we restart our mobile, what happens? What will take? It will directly show you the home screen, or it will take some time to boot. Okay, it will while starting, it will take some time, right? It will show you the name of the mobile, and it will show you the Android, etc., etc. It will show you. Then it will show you the home screen, right? Yeah. So this process is called as booting. Okay. From restarting the boot, I mean restarting your mobile, from when you power on the system, mobile, from power on to home screen, whatever the things are happening, this is called as a booting. Okay. When you on our computer also, it will load some data. Okay, it will load some values of the computer, of the system, right? And finally it will show you the desktop screen, right? So this starting time, whatever the time it is taking, that is called as a booting. Okay, booting process. This booting is going to be stored in the RAM. Okay, so whatever the booting is there, booting data is there,
Yes,
this
okay.
booting data is going to be stored in the RAM. Okay, so that's why it is a permanent one. Why? Because when we load our OS into our computer, so this OS booting process is going to be stored in the ROM, and which is not going to be edited. Why? Because if we edit anything, the device is not going to be started. If we suppose example, we have any edit option this write option for this, so we will by mistakenly, if we delete any file from that from the device, from that storage space, so what happens next time when we restart our system, it will not get start. Okay, so that's why it is a read only memory, right? The latest thing, the later we have n number of things on the ROM and RAM, but we no need about that all. Okay, this is the RAM. Right. So before getting into the structure of operating system, yeah. So before we getting into the structure of RAM, let me see the generations, how the operating system has been, how many generations we have in the operating system. Okay. Let me see how many operating systems, how operating system has been developed. Okay. I just show you the generations of the computer. So these are the generations of computer. So we have totally five types, five generations of a computer. So from 1942 till now, till today, we are using these computers. Okay. So we have first generation. Let me discuss about the generations. So let me discuss about first generation. So our first generation is from 1940s to 1956. Okay. Will you be able to see my screens, right? Right. Yeah, yeah. I will give you all important questions at the end of the class. Okay. Not end of the class, at the end of the syllabus. Okay. Right. So from 1940 to 1956, we have first generation. So where actually in the first, when we have first generation, in the first generation, we have a computers like this. You can see the image, right? So this is a computer. The first computer that has been introduced here. Okay. Right. Like this. So it is a big, it will take a huge, one room space here for this computer, and it will provide you a large amount of heat also. Okay. It will take some full noise, and it will provide you a large amount of heat, and it will provide you a punch card. Okay, only let me discuss about that. So here, what they are using means they are using a vacuum tubes. Okay, vacuum tubes are thermonic. Yeah, thermonic value. These are thermonic value machines. Whatever these vacuum tubes, they are going to be used here. So by the help of these vacuum tubes, the data is going to be stored, or data is going to be printed on the output screen. These all things are going to be happened through the help of vacuum tubes. Okay, so these computers are going to be used for printing punch cards. Okay. So based on the punch card, this is the punch card. See, this one is a punch card. So this one is a punch card. So based on the punch card, we can enter the data into the computer, right? So here we are now presently we are using keyboard, but previous at the starting time they used the punch card, and there with the help of paper tape they are using this punch card. Like ante manaki ippudu example, previously we have some I think people have seen or not, I don't know. ఇఫ్ ఎనీ మనకు ఏదైనా ఒకటి ఎగ్జాంపుల్, అది నేను కూడా ఎగ్జాక్ట్ చూడలేదు, ఎందుకంటే మన ఇది దిస్ ద లాస్ట్ ప్రీవియస్ వన్. సపోజ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, మనకి కొన్ని యూపీఎస్సీ ఎగ్జామ్ ఎవరైనా చూసారా? యూపీఎస్సీ ఎగ్జామ్ బుక్లెట్ చూసారా ఎవరైనా? ఐడియా ఉందా ఎవరికైనా? సో ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనకి యూపీఎస్సి బుక్లెట్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది అంటే దేర్ ద యూపీఎస్సి నేమ్ విల్ బి ఆన్ ద హోల్స్. ఓకే, యూ అనేది హోల్స్ తో ఉంటుంది, హోల్స్ డాట్స్ ఉంటుంది అంతా. ఓకే, నాట్ ఇన్ రిటర్న్ ఫార్మాట్, ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ ఇన్ రిటర్న్ ఫార్మాట్, ఇట్ విల్ బి ప్రింటెడ్ ఆన్ డాట్స్. ఓకే, సో లైక్ దట్ ఇట్ ఆన్ ద పేపర్ it is also going to be provide you on the dots. Okay, సంథింగ్ ఎక్సెట్రా లైక్ దట్. అండ్ ఇక్కడ మనకి ఇలా ఇది ఈ మిషన్ అనేది మాక్సిమం అర్థం చేసుకునేది ఏంటి అంటే ఓన్లీ జీరోస్ అండ్ వన్స్, బైనరీ కోడ్ ఓన్లీ అర్థం చేసుకుంటుంది ఇది, రైట్? సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ENIAC, EDVAC, these are the examples for this, or we can also call as IBM. These also comes under this first generation computers. Okay, the main concept is only it is use vacuum tubes for first generation. Okay, right. Coming to second generation. In the second generation, started from 1956 to 63. We have the generation of the second generation is second type of computers is 1956 to 1963. Here they are used as translators. Okay, sorry, transistors. So by using transistors, they have created a computer. So when they have used the transistors, the size of the first generation is like this. No size. The size has been lessed. Okay, has been shorted. Okay, when they are used the transistors, data the size of the computer అనేది తగ్గింది ఇక్కడ. Okay, and ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది మనకు ద సైజ్ అనేది తగ్గిందని చెప్తున్నాడు, రైట్? ద కంపారిజన్ ఆఫ్ కంప్యూటర్స్ ఇన్ ద ఫస్ట్ జనరేషన్, ద కంప్యూటింగ్ టైం టేకెన్. సో ఇక్కడ కంప్యూటింగ్ టైం అంటే ఏంటి అంటే డేటా అనేది మనం సెండ్ చేయడం కానీ రిసీవ్ చేసుకోవడం కానీ ఎంటర్ చేయడం కానీ టైం అనేది చాలా తగ్గింది వెన్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఏ ట్రాన్సిస్టర్స్, రైట్? సో దీస్ ఆర్ సెకండ్ జనరేషన్. సో ద సెకండ్ జనరేషన్ కంప్యూటర్స్ ఆర్ లైక్ దిస్. ఓకే, next one, third generation. So in the third generation, this is the third generation. There they have used the integrated circuits, ICs. We call it as an ICs. Okay. Nowadays, we in our current, in the current systems also, in the like మన ఇంట్లో కరెంట్ లో కూడా మనకు ఐసీస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఫర్ మనకి ఇప్పుడు ఎనీ ఫ్రిడ్జ్ లో అందులో కూడా ఐసీస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఐసీస్ ఇట్ విల్ జనరేట్ మోర్, it will generate less power. Okay, labor consumption of power is going to be less, and it will provide you more computing process, right? సో ఇది మనకు ఐసీస్ యూజ్ చేసింది కాబట్టి దీని సైజ్ అనేది తగ్గిపోయింది, ప్యూర్లీ అంటే టోటల్ గా తగ్గిపోయింది ఐసీస్ యూజ్ చేస్తే, రైట్? లైక్ ఇన్ అవర్ టీవీ ఆల్సో మానిటర్ cathode rays, like previously whatever TVs we have, in that also we have ICs only. Okay, రైట్? సో వీటి వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది అంటే ద సైజ్ ఆఫ్ ద కంప్యూటర్ హ్యాస్ బికమ్ మోర్ స్మాల్. ఓకే, చాలా తగ్గిపోయింది. అండ్ ద కంప్యూటింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఆల్సో, ద కంప్యూటింగ్ టైం టేకెన్ బై ద కంప్యూటర్స్ ఇన్ ద థర్డ్ జనరేషన్ వాస్ లెసర్. ద థర్డ్ జనరేషన్ కంప్యూటర్ కన్స్యూమ్డ్ లెస్ పవర్ అండ్ ఆల్సో జనరేటెడ్ లెస్ హీట్. ఓకే, లెస్ పవర్ తీసుకుంటుంది అండ్ లెస్ హీట్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది, రైట్? ద మెయింటెనెన్స్ కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద కంప్యూటర్స్ ఇన్ ద థర్డ్ జనరేషన్ వాజ్ ఆల్సో లో. ఓకే, మెయింటెనెన్స్ కూడా తగ్గిపోయింది ఇక్కడ. వై? బికాస్ ఇక్కడ మనకు రూమ్ మొత్తం యూజ్ చేస్తుండే, ఇక్కడ ఆల్మోస్ట్ హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద రూమ్. హియర్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ రూమ్ అండ్ we are spending too much of power here, and it is also providing a lot of heat to overcome that one. We have to produce some ACs. ACs gani any cool items we have to provide here for the heat ni overcome cheyadaniki we are using AC here, and here also it is providing for that one we are using AC also here also, and here also we use the ACs, but less amount of power it is going to be used. Okay, yeah. In the fourth generation is from 1972 to 2010. Okay, so a maximum every people know about this generation computers. Okay, this is a desktop, we call it as a desktop. Here they are using microprocessor technology. Okay, so the first computer vacuum tubes, tarvata translate. Here they are using microprocessors. So these microprocessors are going to be used in these computers. So one second. So okay, fine. Yeah, these microprocessors are used here, and with the help of these microprocessors, the size of the computer has become very small. Okay, very small అయిపోయింది, and it is portable also. We can carry this computer. Portable is nothing but we can carry this computer from one place to another place without any problem. Okay, and ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏమైంది, it uses it will produce very less amount of heat. Okay, and low amount of heat, and it is much faster and accurate, and accuracy become more reliable. Okay, the data అనేది reliable is nothing but accuracy అనేది కరెక్ట్ గా వస్తుంది. డేటా అనేది ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా డేటా అనేది వాట్ ఎవర్ ద థింగ్స్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ అక్యురసీగా ప్రాసెస్ అవుతుంది. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దీస్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్ ఫిఫ్త్ జనరేషన్ is nothing but from 2010 to till date, or beyond. Okay. So what type of fifth generation is nothing but presently మనం ఏది యూజ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాం presently in the market we are using fourth generation only. Fifth generation is for artificial intelligence. Okay. So artificial intelligence purpose we are using this fifth generation. Okay. Like robotics, yeah, robots, and any example next, suppose using Alexa, suppose we are using Alexa or voice recognition in our mobile, so
Right.
automatically they will recognize your voice and they will produce the result, whatever the result you want. Suppose example, if you ask anything to Alexa, it will give you the result of that particular requirement, right? So these are all going to be done by the help of this fifth generation computers. Like here it is using being categories as a basic hardware only generation. Okay, here it will provide you a large amount of memory capacity, and it will store a large amount of storage. Okay, and working with computers of this generation was fast and multiple tasking could be performed simultaneously. Right. ఇది ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే it will perform multiple tasking operations, right? At the same time, it will I mean example, presently we are using whatever the laptops we are using, it is also multitasking only. Like while at the same time I'm sharing the screen here, and how many people, like if we have 13 people here, right? So at the same time 13 people can see this video, this screen, and they also can do their own work. Suppose if you want to do any other work also, you can do, like if you want to type any letter while seeing this one, you can type letter in separate window also, like multiple taskings we can do. Like see example, ఈ విండోని నేను పక్కన simultaneously ఓపెన్ చేయగలుగుతాను, right? So the computer is running this one as well as this one also, right? Background it is working these all options. Okay. Guys, 1 second, I just getting a call. ఒక నిమిషం లైన్ లో ఉండండి. Yeah, hello. So simultaneously the things, see, suppose I want to the background we are running the Zoom application, and background we have these all things, okay, right? So these all are going to be happen simultaneously. That is a multitasking, right? So this is about the generation of a computers. Okay. Do you have any doubts on generation of computers? Right. So let me see operating system structure now. So previously, actually operating system structure. So the structure is nothing but మనకి ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ అనేది ఇప్పుడు ఇది వాట్ ఎవర్ వీఆర్ సీయింగ్ హియర్, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ జస్ట్ షో యూ. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి ఇదంతా కనబడుతుంది. వాట్ ఈస్ దీస్ ఆల్? యాక్చువల్లీ దీస్ ఆర్ ద గ్రాఫికల్ కంటెంట్. While seeing this one only, we can understand that this is a start button, and these are the folder. Okay, these are folders. These are Google Chrome, and this Zoom meeting, and these are the Excel file, Word file, mail item, something, etc., etc. I can see this one. While seeing this one, I can identify that these are my computers. These all things I can know, right? But previously we have different types of operating system. Our Windows will provide you multiple types of operating systems. Like I will show you. Yeah, this is also one of the operating system. Okay, previously we have this type of operating system only. Okay, this operating system is not, it is called as a DOS operating system. Okay, disk operating system, DOS, we call it as a DOS, device. Device is nothing but disk operating system. Okay, so whatever the thing we are doing here, the same thing also will happen here also. Okay, like example, I want to get into this suppose I want to get into E drive. Okay, so with this also I can get into E drive. So when we type E colon, so I came into E drive. Okay, suppose example I'll show you here. So here also the same thing is, no, address is same, no, E colon slash, right? I have highlighted here, this, see this one. So this E colon slash, the same thing is going to be shown here, right? So we are in this drive now. I am in this folder only. Okay, suppose I want to open this file. Suppose I want to open this OS Ambedkar UG course in the DOS command. Suppose example, so I want to open means I have a command called cd. Okay, sorry. Instead of typing, I'm using shortcut key here. See all the file names it is showing you. See OS Ambedkar UG courses, right? When I click enter here, it has entered into OS Ambedkar UG courses. So now we are in this folder. Okay, now we are in this folder, right? Suppose I want to open this file, operating system file. I want to open this one, so I can open that one directly from here also. So type, I can call this operating system, right? Yeah, operating system docs. But it is showing you different format, right? It will show you the text format, but it is showing you some different format. So we can open that one directly like this also. Okay, we have different formats like this. So these also, these are called as a disk operating system. But what are the disadvantages of this using this operating system? So what are the disadvantages means, here we can't see. I mean, here we can directly, when we want to open this file, directly double click is going to be happened here, right? When we double click that one, it is automatically open. But here to open that one, we need to use the command, and it is not a user friendly, right? It is not a user graphically content, user friendly. ఇక్కడ ఏం కనబడుతుంది మనకి డేటా అనేది, right? Yeah. So these many files I have, okay, in the E drive example. In the E drive అంటే ఈలోకి వెళ్దాం మనం. Example. Yeah, E drive లో మనకునే సర్టిఫికేట్స్, సంథింగ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేటికా నోట్స్, సంథింగ్ ఉంది కదా. See certificates, informatica notes 15 batch, etc. Everything is showing you, right? So మనకి ఇక్కడ చూస్తే ఎలా అర్థమవుతుంది, ఇక్కడ చూస్తే ఎలా అర్థమవుతుంది మనకు, right? ఇక్కడ here it is showing you only the names of the files. Okay, here it is showing you the folder names. Folder, while seeing this one, we can say that it is a folder, and seeing this one, it is a document. Like this we can tell directly. But here, while seeing this one, we can't I mean, we can't guess that one it is a folder or it is a file. While seeing this name of this directory, we can call it as it is folder. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఇలాంటి పేరు లేదు, బట్ ఇక్కడ ఏముంది ఐఎన్సి అని సంథింగ్ షార్ట్ కట్ అది, కానీ ఇక్కడ డిఏటి ఫైల్ అని ఉంది, రైట్? సో సంథింగ్ ఇలాంటి ఫైల్స్ మనం ఇట్లా డాట్ ద్వారా మనం దీన్ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయగలుగుతాం. ఓకే, so like this it is going to be happen. So these are also disk operating system. So we have multiple types of operating, like this is a command line operating system and this is a graphical operating system. Okay, so the structure of operating system is we have simple operating system, I mean simple structure we have, and layered structure we have, and kernel, microkernel structure, and modular structure we have, right? So what are they? Let me see now. So in the simple structure example, now what we have, what I have shown you like MS-DOS, disk operating system, right? So the simple structure is like that one. So here what will show you, here it is simple to use, but only for some operating systems do not have well defined structure and are small, simple and limited systems. Okay, the interface and levels of functionality are not well separated. MS-DOS is an example for such an operating system, right? So ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే ఇంటర్ఫేసెస్ అండ్ గ్రాఫికల్ కంటెంట్ అలాంటి సింపుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ లో ప్రొవైడ్ చేయవు. సో అలాంటి లేవు కాబట్టి, అండ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద అప్లికేషన్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ డైరెక్ట్లీ వీ ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఆన్ ద డివైస్. దిస్ బయోస్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ దిస్ రామ్ డివైస్. ఓకే, రామ్ అనేది అది మన టెంపరీ స్టోరేజ్ అండ్ పర్మనెంట్ స్టోరేజ్ ఏవైతున్నాయో దాని యొక్క ప్రాసెసర్ మీద డైరెక్ట్లీ వీఆర్ రన్నింగ్ ఆన్ దట్ వన్. ఓకే, వాట్ ఎవర్ అప్లికేషన్స్ ఇన్ ద సింపుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ వైస్. ఓకే, లైక్ మనం ఇప్పుడు డాస్ ఆపరేటింగ్ ఒకటి చూసాం మనం, జస్ట్ ఇది కూడా వేరే రెసిడెంట్ సిస్టమ్స్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అండ్ అప్లికేషన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా సపరేట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్. లైక్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది వర్డ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ అప్లికేషన్, ఈ అప్లికేషన్ అనేది కూడా డైరెక్ట్లీ రామ్ మీద వర్క్ అవుతుంది, నాట్ ఆన్ ఎనీ అదర్ కంటెంట్స్. ఓకే, ఇన్ ద సింపుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ we don't have any functionalities. Okay, like example MS-DOS is one of the example for this operating system. Everything is going to be loaded on the BIOS only, right? Advantage ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ సిస్టమ్ కి ఈజీగా అర్థం అవుతుంది. ఇట్ డెలివర్స్ బెటర్ అప్లికేషన్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్యూ ఇంటర్ఫేసెస్ బిట్వీన్ ద అప్లికేషన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అండ్ ద హార్డ్వేర్. ఓకే, ఇది ఏం చేస్తుంది, బెటర్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. వై? బికాస్ we don't have large amount of content in between this. Why? Because we are directly working on the BIOS, like BIOS and hardware. We directly working on the hardware from the application. Hardware మీద వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాం, right? And easy for kernel for developing such type of an operating system. సో కర్నల్ ఏంటిది, మిషన్ అండర్స్టాండబుల్ లాంగ్వేజ్. లైక్ మిషన్ లో మనకు డేటాని సెండ్ చేయడం, రిసీవ్ చేయడం అంతా చూసుకునేంత కర్నలే కదా. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, ఇలాంటి సిస్టమ్స్, ఇలాంటి స్ట్రక్చర్ ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడానికి, డెవలప్ చేయడానికి కర్నల్ కి వెరీ ఈజీ టు డెవలప్ దట్ వన్. డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటి అంటే వెరీ కాంప్లికేటెడ్. ఇందాక మనం చూసాం కాంప్లికేటెడ్. హౌ మీన్స్ వీ కాంట్ నో వాట్ ఈస్ ఎ ఫైల్, వాట్ ఈస్ ఎ డైరెక్టరీ, అది ఏంటి అని తెలియదు. దాన్ని ఓపెన్ చేయాలంటే వీ నీడ్ ఎ కమాండ్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ వీ నీడ్, రైట్? it does not enough does not enforce the data hiding. Okay, so data hiding also it will not provide you, right? మనకి ఇప్పుడు presently data hiding అనేది most important, right? So మన any user passwords, whatever the things are there, that all should be hidden. Okay, ఈ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేయలేదు. Whereas coming to layered structure, next one. So layered structure is nothing but the operating system. An operating system can be broken into pieces and retain much more control on system. Okay, so ఈ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ అనేది పీసెస్ కింద బ్రోక్ చేస్తుంది. సో ఆ పీసెస్ ఎలా 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 బ్రోక్ చేస్తుంది అంటే, how it is going to be broken means in the number of layers, okay, or levels. In the number of layers or levels, we call it as layers. Okay, so the last one, the least one, like layer 0 is called as in hardware, and the above one is called as layer 1, layer 2, and the last layer, like last nth layer, is going to be the user interface, like we are the users, right? So whoever the user is using the application here, so that is the nth layer. In between we have n number of layers here. Okay, so what the advantage of this layer is that, so layer makes it easy to enhance the operating system, as implementing the layer can be changed easily without affecting the other layers, right? Suppose I'm using this layer here, application layer is there. Example, I'm using an application like WhatsApp here. So this layer will not take any, will not interact with any other layers. The n-1 layer, n-2 layer, like up to 0 layer దాకా ఇది ఏంటి interactions పెట్టుకోదు. Okay, it will work on that particular layer only, right? So it will not have any interaction with, or it will not implement any other layers to combine with them. Okay, and easily execute చేస్తుందని, right? And it is very easy to perform debugging and system verifications, right? సో ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు ఈ లేయర్ ఒక అబ్స్ట్రాక్షన్, ఇంకా డేటా హైడింగ్ అనేది కూడా ఇక్కడ మనకు చాలా యూజ్ అవుతుంది. వై? బికాస్ ఈ లేయర్ 1 లో ఏదైతే డేటా ఉందో, ఈ డేటా అనేది లేయర్ 2, లేయర్ 3, లేయర్ n కి కనబడదు. Like example, I'm using a laptop here and I'm writing a data here on the screen. I'm typing some data here, but what is going to happen on inside the system, I don't know. Even I don't know exactly how data is going there. ఆ డేటా అనేది ఆ సిస్టమ్ దగ్గరికి ఎలా వెళ్తుంది, అది బిట్స్ కింద ఎలా కన్వర్ట్, లైక్ జీరోస్ అండ్ వన్స్ కింద ఎలా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది, దీస్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ ఐ డోంట్ నో ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ, రైట్? సో వీ నాట్ అట్ ఆల్ బాదర్ అబౌట్ దీస్ ఆల్ ఆర్ ఇన్ హైడింగ్ ప్రాసెస్. ఓకే, దట్ ఆర్ ద మెయిన్ అడ్వాంటేజ్, రైట్? డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే, ఇన్ ది స్ట్రక్చర్ ద అప్లికేషన్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఈజ్ డిగ్రేడెడ్ యాజ్ కంపేర్డ్ టు సింపుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్, రైట్? సో ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే వర్కింగ్ అనేది పెరుగుతుంది ఇక్కడ మనకి, రైట్? మనం వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఎన్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ అండ్ ఎన్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఇయర్. సో అక్కడ ఇన్ని యూజ్ చేస్తున్నందుకు డేటా అనేది పెరుగుతుంది, కాబట్టి పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ అనేది తగ్గుతుంది, రైట్? యా. నెక్స్ట్, ఇట్ రిక్వైర్స్ కేర్ఫుల్ పర్ఫార్మింగ్ for designing the layers as higher layers for the functionality of only the lower layers, right? సో ఇంకో డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే, ద ఓఎస్ హ్యాస్ టు డిజైన్ ఇన్ సచ్ ఎ వే దట్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ లేయర్, ఇప్పుడు ఈ లేయర్ కి సంబంధం లేకుండా ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు క్రియేట్ దట్ వన్, రైట్? సో ఇట్ వైల్ డిజైనింగ్ దిస్ లేయర్, ఎప్పుడైతే ఇది బ్రోకెన్ డౌన్స్ కింద చేస్తుందో లేయర్స్ ని, ఆ డిజైన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ సమ్ కేర్ఫుల్, ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు డిజైన్ ఇన్ సచ్ ఎ వే దట్ it will be not affected with other layers. Okay, ఆ చేయడానికి it has to provide some careful, it has to take care about that layers. Okay, these are the disadvantages. Next, microkernel. So microkernel is also one of the thing. Already we know about the kernel, we have discussed. So ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే, this structure design the operating system by removing all non-essential components from the kernel and implementing them as system as under process, as user process program. Okay. So this result is a small kernel called the microkernel. Okay, right? So whatever the user programs are there, like example, suppose I'm using n number of programs, and each and every, ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏంటి అంటే, let me have more, just 3 to 4 topics, right? Okay, ఇది అయిపోతే మన ఫస్ట్ యూనిట్ అయిపోతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ we go into next unit. Already we have only 6 units, right? 6 classes only. Within 6 classes we have to finish all 12 units. So actually yesterday we didn't took actually. So that's why every class, suppose maximum we have to finish at least 1 to 2 units. Okay, yeah. Right, so here this microkernel will, so number of it will implement the system outputs and whatever the essential components are there, like input resources, manaku system resources, input devices, output devices, ilanti edutunayo anni manaki kernel use chestundi, right? So the kernel and implement them, edaithe mana components evaithe unnayo system ki, avannitni system programmer ki use ayyetatuga, user ki use ayyetatuga provide chestundi micro kernel, and దీని వల్ల మనకు వర్క్ అనేది ఈజీగా అవుతుంది. ఓకే, రైట్? ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ పోర్టబుల్ ఇన్ వేరియస్ platforms. Okay, microkernels also are small, so these can be tested effectively, right? Example, disadvantage ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ మనకు ఇది కూడా వర్క్ ఎక్కువ ఇస్తుంది కాబట్టి కమ్యూనికేషన్ కానీ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ కానీ డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది లైట్ గా. ఓకే, దాని తగ్గట్టుగా వీ నీడ్ ఏ ర్యామ్ అండ్ రామ్, దీస్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ ఆల్సో వీ నీడ్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ ఓన్లీ. లైక్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మొబైల్ ఆల్సో అంతే అంతే కదా, అది కూడా సేమ్ స్లోలీ ఇట్ విల్ డూ. Next, modular structure of structure. Modular structure. Modular structure is nothing but we have a kernel, and each and every shield has been created separated. Okay, each and everything is going to be each and every component. We call it as a components or core components, whatever the things it is there. Each and everything is going to be allocated separately, right? So example, నేను ఇప్పుడు like example మన మొబైల్ తీసుకుందాం. మొబైల్లో ఇప్పుడు we have different type of applications like WhatsApp, Facebook, Gmail, Insta, etc. we have. బట్ అవన్నీ ఎప్పుడు అన్ని ఒకేసారి యూజ్ అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, సిస్టమ్ అనేది డౌన్ అయిపోతుంది, రైట్? సో వెన్ ఎవర్ వి ఓపెన్ దట్ అప్లికేషన్, దెన్ దట్ అప్లికేషన్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి వర్క్, రైట్? మనం ఎప్పుడైతే అప్లికేషన్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నామో అప్పుడే అప్లికేషన్ వర్క్ అవ్వాలి. అలా అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, డేటా అనేది సిస్టమ్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ అనేది తగ్గకుండా పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ అనేది స్టేబుల్ గా ఉంటుంది, ఈజీగా వర్క్ అవుతుంది, డౌన్ కాకుండా, రైట్? సో హియర్ ఆల్సో సపోజ్ అదే మన ఇది ఏంటంటే డైనమికల్లీ ఇట్ విల్ allocates the it will load the applications into our computer. Okay, in our mobile also dynamically is nothing but ఎప్పటికప్పుడు మనం ఓపెన్ చేయగానే రన్ అవుతాయి, మళ్ళీ అదే మనం క్లోజ్ చేయగానే క్లోజ్ అయిపోతుంది. ఓకే, ద సేమ్ వే హియర్ ఆల్సో we have different types of class schedulings, executable formats, file systems, loadings, streams, resources, devices, etc. These all are going to be done while dynamically it loads the data or it loads the models. We call it as a models. These all are into the kernel. ఒకేసారి కాకుండా ఒక్కొక్కటి లోడ్ అవుతుంది, రైట్? దీస్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి డన్ ఆన్ ద మోడల్ స్ట్రక్చర్, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్, సిస్టమ్ కాల్స్ అండ్ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్. సో సిస్టమ్ కాల్స్ ఆర్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ వాంట్ టు డూ ఎనీ లైక్ సిస్టమ్ కాల్స్ అనేది మనకు ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్గా మనం ఒక అవుట్పుట్ స్క్రీన్లో నేను ఒక ప్రింట్ ఇచ్చాను, ప్రింట్ ఇవ్వగానే ఏమవుతుంది, డేటా అనేది ప్రింట్ మనకు అవుట్పుట్లో ప్రింట్ రావాలి, రైట్? సో హౌ ఇట్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ద ప్రింట్ మీన్స్ వెన్ ఐ గివ్ ఏ ప్రింట్, సో ఇట్ విల్ రైట్ ద డేటా, రైట్? ఇది ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఒక ఆప్షన్ కింద చేసుకుంటుంది. లైక్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ మనకు సి అండ్ సివిపి అయితే ఎక్కువగా యూజ్ అవుతున్నాయి, అంటే ఈ సిస్టమ్ కాల్ అనేది ఎక్కువ యూజ్ అవుతుంది. ఇన్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ దిస్ వన్, ఇన్ సి అండ్ సివిపి, ఇన్ కంప్యూటర్, వాట్ ఎవర్ వి థింక్, వాట్ ఎవర్ వి డూయింగ్ ఆన్ ద సిస్టమ్, ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి డన్ యాక్సెస్ బై ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ సిస్టమ్ కాల్స్ ఓన్లీ, రైట్? నేను ఇప్పుడు మౌస్ బటన్ ఇక్కడ సెలెక్ట్ చేశాను అంటే అది ఒక సిస్టమ్ కాల్ తీసుకుంటుంది, సెలెక్ట్ చేయమని. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ క్లిక్ చేస్తాను, దిస్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో వన్ ఆఫ్ ద సిస్టమ్ కాల్. Okay, when I am dragging this one, scrolling this one page, okay, this is also called as a system call. Okay, so based on the services, it will provide you OSS services. So by the help of the services, each and every action is going to be taken as a system call. Okay, so for example, in the language we have open function, read function, write function, close function, these all things we have, right? So what operation you will do, open function ఏం చేస్తాం మనం ఆ పర్టికులర్ ఫైల్ ని ఓపెన్ చేయాలని చెప్తుంది. రీడ్ అంటాం, రీడ్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తుంది ఆ ఫైల్ ఫంక్షన్. ఓకే, ఇంకోటి రైట్, ఆ ఫైల్లో రైట్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తుంది ఈ ఫంక్షన్ అనేది. సో హియర్ వీఆర్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ సమ్ ఇక్కడ మనం ఫంక్షన్ ఇచ్చి ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నాం, బట్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ డైరెక్ట్లీ ఆటోమేటికలీ హియర్ ఐఎమ్ టైపింగ్ సంథింగ్, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐఎమ్ టైపింగ్ హియర్ సంథింగ్, హియర్ ఐఎమ్ టైపింగ్ సంథింగ్, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ టేకింగ్ రైట్ ఆప్షన్, రైట్ ఫంక్షన్, ఆటోమేటికలీ ద సిస్టమ్ కాల్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి యాక్టివేటెడ్. ఓకే, సో అప్లికేషన్ డెవలపర్ ఏపీఐ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ అప్లికేషన్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. ఆ అప్లికేషన్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ద్వారా ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ ద యాక్సెప్ట్స్ ద డేటా, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద థింగ్స్ బై ద యూజర్ రిక్వైర్డ్. ఓకే, సో సిస్టమ్ కాల్స్ ఎలాంటి సర్వీసెస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుందంటే ప్రాసెస్ క్రియేషన్ అండ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్, మెయిన్ మెమరీ మేనేజ్మెంట్, ఫైల్ యాక్సెస్, డేటా డిక్షనరీ అండ్ డైరెక్టరీ అండ్ ఫైల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. ఓకే, డివైస్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్, ప్రొటెక్షన్, నెట్వర్కింగ్, ఎక్సెట్రా. దీస్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి డన్ బై ద సిస్టమ్ కాల్స్. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ మనం మెమరీ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం మళ్ళీ తర్వాత చూస్తాము. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ జస్ట్ నేను చెప్పాను కదా ఇందాక, నేను జస్ట్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఐఎమ్ టైపింగ్ హియర్, దిస్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో వన్ ఆఫ్ ద సిస్టమ్ కాల్, ఇట్ ఈస్ రైటింగ్ సమ్ డేటా. And whenever you are seeing this one, this is also one of the call, output, printing the data. Everything is comes under as a system call. Okay, yeah. Next, operating system functions. So operating system functions are what type of functions it will provide means it will provide you convenience of an operating system. It will provide you to use the convenience, computer more convenient to use. Okay, మనకు operating system ఎలాంటి ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుందంటే ఇదాన్ని మనకి చూడంగానే ఇవన్నీ కనబడుతున్నాయి కదా, ఇదంతా కన్వీనియన్స్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఎఫిషియన్సీ. Efficiency is nothing but OS allows the computer system resources to be used in an efficient manner. Like whatever the resources, just now I said you, resources means input and output devices. Whatever the things connected to this computer, like RAM, ROM, everything comes under as resources. ఇవన్నిటి యూజ్ చేసుకుంటుంది, ఎఫిషియెంట్లీ యూజ్ చేస్తుంది, దేనికి ఏది కావాలో అది, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్, ఎబిలిటీ టు ఎవాల్వ్. ఎబిలిటీ టు ఎవాల్వ్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ లైక్ an operating system it should be constructed in such a way that it has to permit the efficient development, testing and introduction, everything, right? సో మనం ఏదైతే మనం డేటా ఎంట్రీ చేస్తున్నామో, ఇలాంటి ఇప్పుడు మనం సపోజ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మెయిల్ పంపించాలి, ఇలాంటి ఏ ప్రాబ్లం చేయాలి, ఏ వర్క్ చేయాలన్నా సరే మెయిల్ పంపించాలంటే నెట్వర్క్ కనెక్ట్ కావాలి. సో నెట్వర్క్ ని యూజ్ చేసుకొని దాని డేటాని కొలిషన్స్ కాకుండా, ఎలాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కాకుండా మెయిల్ సెండ్ చేస్తుంది, రైట్? సో దాన్ని టెస్ట్ చేయడం అలాంటివన్నీ ఇట్ విల్ ప్రొవైడ్ యూ టు ఎవాల్వ్ ద ఎబిలిటీ. ఓకే, the OS provides following services to the users. Manaku users ante we are the users. So whatever services it will provide means program creation. Okay, it will provide you the program creation, like program like editors. కొన్ని editors like C, CPP is also one of the editor. So C లో మనకి ఏం చేస్తాం, మనం C language already you know, Java, C, CPP, these all things. There we are going to edit the data. I mean we are going to create a programs, and we have a debuggers, interpreters, compilers. These all things are going to be happened over there, right? Based on the application. Next, program execution. Program ని మనం రన్ చేయడానికి. ఓకే, ఆ రన్ చేసిన ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎక్కడ స్టోర్ కావాలి, మెమరీలో స్టోర్ అవ్వడానికి, మెమరీ స్టోరేజ్లో కానీ ఇన్పుట్ అవుట్పుట్ డివైజెస్, ఫిల్టర్స్, ఫైల్స్, ఎక్సెట్రా వాట్ ఎవర్ ద థింగ్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ దేర్. నెక్స్ట్, యాక్సెస్ టు ద ఇన్పుట్ అవుట్పుట్ డివైజెస్. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ద ఇన్పుట్ అవుట్పుట్ డివైజెస్ ఆర్ కనెక్టెడ్ టు ద సిస్టమ్, టు యాక్సెస్ దెమ్ we have a device manager. From the device manager we can access them, and we can use that devices without any problem, right? Yeah, next, controlled access to files. So file management, నేను చెప్పాను ఇందాక స్టార్టింగ్ చెప్పాను, everything will be shown you on the files only, right? So it will be created, everything will be controlled in the mechanism of a files only, right? మనకి ఏ ఫైల్ కనబడ, ఇది ఏది కనబడ ఫైల్స్ అంటాం దీన్ని, right? నెక్స్ట్, సిస్టమ్ యాక్సెస్. So system OS will provide you the functions to protect the resources in of a system and data from unauthorized users. Okay, ఎవరు పడితే వాళ్ళు యూజ్ చేయకుండా, సో ఫ్రమ్ అన్ఆథరైజ్డ్ యూజర్స్ నుంచి డేటాని ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయడానికి కూడా ఓఎస్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. లైక్ లైనెక్స్ విల్ సో లైనెక్స్ విల్ క్లోజ్, ఐ మీన్ what it going to do, maximum MNC companies are going to use Linux only. Why? Because it is a virus free, I mean hacking free. Okay, so it will protect you from the unauthorized users. That's why they are using Linux operating system. Next one, error detection and responses. So whatever the errors we have, these all are going to be detected by the computer, and it will provide you some response also, right? Example, దీన్ని క్లోజ్ చేయాలని అనుకో, క్లోజ్ చేయగానే it will ask you to save the data. It is one of the response. Okay, like this. Okay, accounting is also nothing but monitoring the system and performance of the system and response time. మనం ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని ఇవ్వగానే ఓపెన్ చేయడానికి some time it is taking, response time ఎంత తీసుకుంటుంది, ఎంత time to perform the data, these all things are going to be done on the accounting concepts. So the most thing is that OS will provide you everything to do whatever the thing you want to do, okay, on the system. Okay, it will provide you all the interfaces, it will provide you all the GUI content, to while seeing only we can understand. It will provide you all the resources like input devices, output devices, RAM, ROM, cache, etc. These all things are also going to be shown by the, are given by the OS, and we can use them in an efficient manner. Okay, this is about operating system, right? Do people have any doubts on this? Do people have any doubts, or let me stop the class now again? So with this we finish this one, fundamentals of operating system. So tomorrow we are going to see, I mean not tomorrow, next Saturday, these threads and memory management.